Hey everyone. I wonder if you hear me well. Let me see. Yeah, I think you do. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Let me see what are other tunes on my list. Let's see, where is it? What else? Many seasons ago. Let's do that. Hey everyone, so I'm just letting my hands chill out for a second. So I thought it can be pretty cool to do this as a practice, because I am aiming to be able to play my albums, the music I put out over the years. I'm aiming to play it also. Let me open the other camera, in solo guitar. So the thing is, like, I'm so used to play this music with a band that here I am. Yep, I'm so used to play this music with a band that I think it's a good challenge for me to just go live and try and play those songs also solo. And of course, I get from there into improvisations. A lot of these things are not planned. I don't know, but there's something about just going live and trying to play those stuff that puts you on the spot, and then you gotta get into the moment, kind of force yourself into getting into the moment. So what I have here in front of me, basically, is just a list of all the songs, because what happens is, like, I get into this non-thinking mode, and I gotta at least have a list with songs, so the list kind of saves me moving on to the next thing. And sometimes there's things that are, while I'm playing, I note, like, oh, that can be interesting, like the next time I practice, perhaps to work on the form of that, or being able to play solo guitar. So you need to keep everything, like the time, feel, and also the melody and the chords and everything together. So it's actually very, very challenging, and it's also very demanding on the hands, because when you play with the group, you have room to just leave out some space and maybe take a breath. I find what I find over time is, like, I've been playing for 25 years or something like that. I find that like over the years, it's less about just acquiring language or implementing language, and it's more about learning to accept who I came to, to be, and learning to kind of relax into that. I think that's something that sometimes can be challenging for those who've been playing for a long while. Is is just like learning to let go and kind of not have any concepts when you're playing. Just not being like, oh, I should keep. If you're playing solo guitar, especially, like it's a good exercise in letting go. Like trying to say like, I wonder if I can just play something and just keep flow. So, if that makes sense. Right. So perhaps to make this a little bit more engaging, maybe we can start by you guys sharing where you're tuning in from. And I'm going to check out the chat now again.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah, I'm back in the chat here. So yeah, where are you tuning in from? And thanks so much for checking it out and listening. I should grab some more water soon. Yeah, so right now, I just played all of these tunes, tried to play the chords and everything at the same time. And now I feel like my hands are a little stiff. So what I might do when I feel a little stiff is just go ahead and try to just breathe and go back to what feels relaxed. I think it's the biggest thing you can do is try and play very, very relaxed. I don't think that I'm always succeeding in doing that, but I think it's always a goal I'm trying to have. Sometimes some days I wake up and it's as if like everything is very in tune, and my breath is just connected to my flow. And some days it's not absolutely there. Really, a lot of the time it depends also on your mental state. But what I found is that even if you don't feel like it, you should still do it anyway. Like pick it up and at least pick it up for half an hour or an hour and try to play a little bit every day, or if you have more than that, so that's fantastic too. I do have the things that feel more natural to me, and what I like doing is I like referring back to them and then kind of relaxing into that. And then I can start developing something out of that. And I'm looking for that place where I feel very, very relaxed. And from there, it's just kind of like catching waves. You can pick a certain tune or a certain form and see that you can still express these ideas over the form and try to still stay relaxed. So basically that's more or less the thing I do. Yeah, maybe you can write some questions, share some questions in the chat, and I'm just gonna get myself some water really quick. So I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll be back. One second. All right, I'm back. Is anyone still there? Let's see. So, I thought about it, that, how I put content all the time on this channel. But I thought, like, maybe I can also just do these lives where I just practice, and even if just a few people tune in, it's a good chance for you to ask any questions. So perhaps you saw something in one of my videos that you felt like, it was interesting, or maybe you have some requests for future videos, some directions. So I think that can be pretty cool. Like, for example, if you're already on my website or on my courses and you're curious about specific topics that you haven't seen yet, so that's a good exchange of energy for me to kind of, I'm actually curious, like who's behind the screen, who's checking out all of these videos that I put all this time into. And some videos do very well. Here we go. Eddie, hi Daniel, what basics do we need under our fingers before we can start to really develop flow? I've been on triads for a year, and now my way around much better next arpeggios. Well, first of all, just triads and arpeggios is an entire universe. It's like saying planet Earth, or think about it. Like the word triads is like the word ocean or the word forest. It's an entire ecosystem that you can explore for a very, very long time, and it's never ending. It's infinite. So, I mean, sometimes just being obsessed over triads and using them as a vehicle in arpeggios is already enough of work. So if you embrace that, that can be an entire thing, right? Because there's so many chord progressions you can start voice leading, so many songs you can play, and also the more you, the better you get with something like triads or whatever it is, a pentatonic scale, doesn't matter. Your ability to put intention into it improves, just like when you're speaking your native language. And also when you voice lead arpeggios, you're basically voice leading triads as well. It depends on what arpeggios, but still the intelligence you get from deciding the triads and voice leading them is very important to you on a mechanical level, and on the instrument is a very good decision to make. And if you're curious on how I see things and how I connect everything, so I go very, very, very deep on the materials on my website, so you can check it out, and you can also reach out to me if you have any questions, like yeah, either for private lessons or the courses, and I can show you my way of doing things. I hope that helps. Any other questions about maybe the things that you've seen on this channel, or maybe something specifically about my music or my playing, or I don't know, maybe you just want to share where you're at right now with your journey. Maybe you have some challenges. I think it's very healthy for us to be real with where we're at, and open questions, and then we can grow from there. We're all on this journey. I mean, it's infinite. Some people are more advanced than others. Some people have learned the language of music more than others, but basically, like, everyone everyone is just touching the surface. I don't care who you are, and I'm inspired by so many. I'm just chatting to myself. It's funny, these things, you just talk to yourself. You know what I had? I had this idea of actually improving in doing lives. Like, maybe I can have specific topics, or maybe I can go live at a certain time every week or 2 weeks, and everyone knows that there's a specific thing, and we can talk about several subjects or something like that. It's kind of hard, I've been checking out lots of live YouTube videos of people who do live, like on stocks, right, or news and stuff. So they always have this thing where, like, okay, so what's going with stocks right now, and then they show the stocks, and then they show the news, and they talk about, like, what's relevant, and they people create, like, entire shows live. But when doing it with the YouTube channel about guitar, sometimes I ask myself, like, how can you organize things in such a way, and sometimes I see Rick Beato's channel, and I think he does it really well. Like, he can go live and he can chat about an idea, and it becomes an entire lecture. But I wonder, like, what do you guys feel? Like, there's something special about live, right? The interaction and everything. Just a thought, because I'm experimenting with these live sessions, just like going live, trying to improve, also playing my songs, also just chatting about stuff and getting to hang with you guys, it's a good feeling to talk to the people who are actually watching the channel. Lots of love from India, sending love back to you, thank you. Let me say the names here of the people. There's Alexander from Brazil, and there's Eddie, who's also on my website. So thanks for being on my website. Eddie, if you want, you can also join the Improvisers Academy part of the website, and then you can actually go like live with me, and we go live, and yeah, it's actually really fun. Like, so many people are in my courses on my website, and I'll actually share a link here, but that's not the point. What I'm trying to say, let me check it out. And you know what, I'm gonna do something cool here. Let me actually see. I think I can create a coupon, especially for the stream. Let me see how I can do that. Anyway, while I create that, so I just wanted to say that, like, part of the thing is, like, if you're already in the courses, is that there is an extension of that is a membership for people who join, where we go live, and it's an interaction with me. We work on different topics. It's on Zoom, so I can actually see you on Zoom, and we interact, and it's just fantastic. Okay, I never do this, but I'm gonna create some really cool coupon here. So I'm gonna do it. Okay, let's do just for this live stream. So when this live stream ends, I'm gonna stop. Okay, so here it is. If you want, oops, let me do it again. Code 20% off till this stream ends. That's it. I did it. You just got 20% off just for this stream. Okay? Anyway. So, yeah. I completely lost the train of thought. So what's going on? Big challenges incorporating enclosures with voice leading through changes. Yeah, it's the thing about, like, the more you know the changes, so it becomes easier. So the enclosures is kind of like if you're feeling confident speaking about a certain topic, so the enclosures is an expansion of that confidence. So I would say, like, take a chord progression or a tune and really just work on it for a very, very, very long while. Like if you take a standard or one of the etudes we're working on, you need to. I actually just wrote something about that. You guys want to listen. I wrote something about internalizing. Let me read it for you. I think that would kind of connect to your question about how to start implementing enclosures, right? So it goes like that. Musicians, let's break. You know what? Let me actually see if I can share it. I'll share it in the chat. Let me know what you think. I wrote this. No. Okay. I'm just going to read it because I don't know how to share it right now. So it goes like that. Musicians, let's break the illusion. We don't need to memorize music. We need to know it. By the way, I'm preaching to myself too. Like, it's totally a note to self, and I'm just like writing this in my journal and sharing. Think about it. Do you memorize how to walk, how to speak, how to breathe? No, you just know. It's effortless, it's second nature. Let's stop here. Same thing with asking how to start implementing more advanced materials. Get really, really, really good at implementing simple stuff into certain progressions or frameworks or forms. So if you have a specific song you're working on, and you're wondering why it's hard to implement the enclosures, so maybe you need to go back a step and really, really, really make sure, be very honest with you, that you know what you're approaching to before you utilize approaches like enclosures. And I think that the biggest challenge for all of us, or I mean, I know how it is to try and rush things. Like, okay, I'm going to learn triads. Like, okay, I'm going to do it so quickly. But honestly, like, I've been working on triads, you know, not like sitting every day, but I've been using them every day for 15 years more. And it's not like you're done. It's not like you're like, okay, I'm done. You know, it's like you always need to keep working on these things if you find them important. And I think that the most important thing is to ask yourself, like am I still connected to my why I'm doing this? So, and I think I'm not some guru on that, but I think that I need to remind myself why I'm doing this sometimes. Like, and I do it by listening to music that I love, and also going sometimes even just like if I have a good time with my family, like dinner or something, and we had a good connection. So I go home and I pick up the guitar and I bring that resonate of the consciousness, the harmony in my consciousness, and I try to put that into an improvisation or a song. And that reminds me why I love music, because it's basically it's a way of channeling emotion, expressing emotion. So and I think it's kind of like a healing experience when it's good. So instead of, triad, all those names, triads, arpeggios, scales, we need to say them to communicate. But I want you to kind of, when you're speaking with me and where you're consuming my content, my courses, so it's okay, think about, oh, I'm learning triads, arpeggios and stuff, but when it's time to play, think about sound. Forget about this is a major triad, this is a minor triad, and just think about it as a sound. Because if I play, right now a triad, okay? If I play C major, right? So it has a certain sound, and this is basically not a triad. The truth is that it's sound. Like, we called this triad. If I play that on some other strings, like this second set, it has some different sound. If I move a pickup, if I change a pickup, the sound has changed, right? So I think what I'm trying to explain is, even if you learn triads, you need to learn context, and you can only do that by experimenting a bunch. Tony says, I'm learning a lot from your online courses. I've been on the melodic minor one for a while now, working 40 hours a week. Time is my constraint. It's tough to maintain any momentum. Okay, Tony, if it helps, I do offer like personal coaching that we basically build based on your specific time frames that you can work with, a plan, and I hold you accountable. We stay in touch. I have a bunch of people that are into that. So I built that because I built that because, just like, I actually have a trainer, right? I have a trainer, so he's helping me just like staying in shape, and I pay him because I know that if I pay a trainer, I have this accountability, and it's huge for me, and it's worth every dollar. And he also, like, he asked me like about the way I eat, how many times I went to the gym today, this week, how do I feel. He changes the way I, he's just like, it's worth everything. It's upgrading my life. And I think that, I don't know if everyone needs it, but for me, I think it's huge to have someone like that with your with your playing too. So I do that, and I give everything to my students. It's the best feeling ever. Carlos, is it polite to ask the price of? It really changes. So what we do is, in my website, when you go to my website, there is a one-on-one button. You can click it. If you want, you can see the testimonials and stuff if it matters to you. I'll share that. And basically, we just start. We talk. We can even do a 10-minute call or something just to see, if it works. I'll share it. Work with me here. So, if you're interested, if that's your thing, if you're like, okay, I only have this specific amount of time, how do I do that? How do I take everything and, adjust it so it works with my schedule, with my goals? I really want this, I need someone to hold me accountable, so I offer that service. Yeah, it's very, very limited, obviously, but every, there's always some openings, and I prefer, people who can stick for a while because I want to bring them results. But sometimes we can just go on a 10-minute call and see if it works. So if you're interested, just like let me know and we can talk. It's always fun to meet the people. I've helped a lot of people, so I just enjoy doing that. Yeah. What else? By the way, can you type in the chat? I don't know, for a second, like I can't see. I don't know if something happened to the chat. And also, if you've been trying out the coupon code, it's only available for the stream. So let me know if it works. It should work, the coupon code I just shared. So it's 20% off just for this live stream. And you get all my courses. Simon says, hey man, love your videos. And thanks, Simon. Yeah, so everyone who's saying like love your videos and stuff, thank you so much. I'm actually really curious to know more about what you would like to see on this channel. And I want to also share with you that sometimes I feel like, I want to spread out beyond what I was talking so far and kind of take the channel to a new place, because I love the stuff I put out there, yeah, but it's always about fretboard freedom, which is also what my brand is about, my courses, and those of you who know, there's more than 5,000 people on the website. It's pretty insane. I started back in 2019 just with the course called 51 Galactic Jazz Licks on Instagram, and then at the pandemic I went deep into this channel. But now that passing 40,000 subscribers, and by the way, please hit subscribe if you're watching this. Now I'm thinking, like, what's the next step? Like, how to grow this channel. And sometimes it's kind of hard to think about where to take things, because I can always create more videos about music theory and arpeggios and all that good stuff, but I'm actually, I'm interested to see where I can grow this thing further, honestly. By the way, thanks everyone for tuning in and listening to me and just share my mind today. Carlos, thanks for replying my quest. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can send me either a message on that 101, or you can actually email me. I think you can also email me. So it's just my name and then my website. That's my email. Let me share with you my email. Yeah, here we go. Any other questions? Maybe about the videos or requests for future videos? Anything that is on your mind? Can you do videos applying to tunes? Sure, yeah. I have a video to share with you. I did a few videos applying to tunes. Let me share with you something that I think you'd like. I never titled them with the names of the tunes, because that just doesn't bring any views. So I kind of hide them. There's a bunch. There's blues and solar and giant steps, and there's all kinds. Maybe sometime I'll make a list. In my Improvisers Academy, we really dive into tunes. So Improvisers Academy, it's all about applying to everything we learn into tunes. let me share here the. Let me share a cool video you can watch later. You know what? I'll share it later because I don't want people to go out of the stream, but look for the 10 levels of jazz soloing. That's applying lots of stuff I'm talking about in this channel, applying that in 10 different steps over solar. And it's sure. Oops, sorry. It's a cool video. I don't know why, but every time I reset the chat, for some reason I can't see. I don't know what's going on with the chat. If you wrote anything in the last 2 minutes, please type it again in the chat, because otherwise I can't see. So please, sorry for the confusion. I'll figure out the chat thing. I'm actually writing what to improve with my live streams. I'm gonna study this thing, the live thing. It's gonna be fun. Simon asks, how do you have a tip on how to practice your time without losing motivation? So I think like the biggest challenge I see with guitar players is their time feel. I can tell you my experience, like the biggest thing that I did to improve my time is play with drummers, because that's all they think about. That's their entire world is time, and it just teaches you to think like a drummer, right? And you can even just take 2 notes and drum. I mean, just go. Right? You can also do that over a loop. So if I record a loop, I hope I can do it nicely. Right, you can go. Very 16th note based. What you will discover a lot of the time, it's that time feel and articulation are very related. So, you know, if sometimes it's just the way you feel the pick. And also, I noticed that some guitar players, some of them are having a hard time to get those ghost notes. You know, where you're not really pressing. Like, and on my Improvisers Academy, I gave them this exercise. So those of you who don't know, I have an Improvisers Academy for those who take my courses, and we go live, right? So we worked on the tune Spain for like a month, and I showed them that they can play the melody, right? Wow, oh, you're not even seeing the guitar, sorry. My bad. Here we go. Funny. I can't believe I didn't even show the guitar. Okay. So we worked on the tune Spain, right? So we learned the melody. And I was like, okay, first of all, just learn the notes, because it's a lot of notes, and then try to play just the melody on time, right? So a lot of people had to really take the time to learn that. It wasn't easy for everyone, and I understand, you know, it's a tricky melody. So you just learn that, you play that with the recording very, very slow, and that improves your time. And Then if you want to take it to the next level, you can actually add ghost notes. So that will be... You see, so I'm adding... I'm always keeping time. I'm always going... There's always this thing. And that really forces you to stay in the grid of 16th notes, and that's a really, really good thing for your time to be able to improvise or to play melodies while keeping the ghost notes. It doesn't mean that you all the time you have to do it when you play, but it's really good to be able to do that. So that's something that you can do. Learn an involved melody and start adding ghost notes to it. That's a lot of, bass players always have these ghost notes. The bass player in my prog rock, and the bass player I work with a lot is Lior Ozeri. Maybe you've heard about him. So he does a bunch of cool stuff with ghost notes, and he even, like when he writes parts, he actually writes the ghost notes. So that's working with him. When we played unison parts on the different albums and projects we did, we actually even worked on the ghost notes. And another thing that really works on your, improves your time is learning how to comp, like basically even rock or pop songs. It doesn't matter, just like be able to play parts and play them really, really well. Record yourself and listen back. Of course, there's also the thing of working with metronome, but I don't really like working on the metronome without any context. So it really depends. Being able, I'm talking about some obvious stuff here, but many musicians, many guitar players miss that. So just the ability to tap your foot on quarter notes and then play the melody. Maybe you can hear that I'm tapping the foot right now, right? So just being able to play, just tap your foot and play a melody. Okay, so that's my exercise for you. And about the motivation, just learn something that you enjoy playing. So if you enjoy Spain, learn that. If you enjoy some other thing that has a cool rhythmic vibe, learn that. The enjoyment is very motivating. If you enjoy something, you're most likely gonna keep doing it. So you gotta kind of trick your brain into enjoying learning hard stuff that excite you. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, any other questions here? And Eddie, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, look for it and let me know if you have any questions. Daniel, what advice for sight reading would you give us? I find it a bit difficult to master that topic. Give yourself the task of being able to play one bar. Just like if you can learn just one bar, and focus a lot on reading rhythm, like knowing how to read the rhythm, the quarter notes, you know, like the 8th notes, the 16th notes, variations. So basically knowing how to also sing things like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E, and being able to know how to sing 8 notes and 2 16th notes, ta taka ta taka ta taka, right? And the opposite, takata takata. Knowing how to use dots. So dots basically add half of the value of the object that is dotted. Just knowing those things, just obsessing over sight reading rhythm will really help you. Know the notes on the fretboard well. Like you don't have time to think. It's not, you know, on a piano it's easier, we know that, but we're not playing a piano here. We're basically playing 6 pianos more or less that someone moved them around. So I would go with work on 15 minutes, just like on read and rhythm, or 20 minutes. Then when you learn rhythm, also write it by hand, just to learn how to write it, you know. Just like when you learn how to write, it helps you. I don't write anymore by hand. I use software. I use Guitar Pro because it's very, very helpful for me to then also know how I played what I played. By the way, if you want Guitar Pro, so if you write my last name when you get it, you get 10% off. So yeah. What else? Reading as much as you can without making yourself suffer. So maybe like 25 minutes a day, read like 4 or 8 bars, or maybe 1 bar, but just take your time. And also the reason learning to, like, you gotta have a reason to do it sometimes. For me, I used to work a lot at a theater, playing Broadway musicals. And also I had a gig where I wrote arrangements and copied arrangements and prepared the notations and scores for, and even conducted a few shows with orchestras, like professional orchestras. And that forced me to be able to write, and it wasn't easy. And also I used to play in a lot of bands that, hey, we have these new 10 tunes tomorrow, and they email it to you and you need to just show up to the gig. Or you know, someone calls you, hey, can you replace me? There's a gig tomorrow. It's, you know, this is how much they pay, whatever, this is where you're gonna be, and then they email you the notation, and you just download that into your tablet, you know, your iPad or something, and you just show up to the gig and we start playing. So that's also knowing how to read rhythms and chord symbols. And you know, and if you don't play the right notes, and you didn't even have time to rehearse, so it's just like really awkward, and they probably won't call you again. I used to do that a lot, and just before doing the YouTube thing, I was doing a lot of session work. So the session work really forces you to be able to read, because you just have to. If you don't read, so you're not doing your job. So being forced to read will improve your reading. Like, you know, if you have to read music to pay your rent, so you're gonna read better, because just naturally what happens. And it's also kind of a use it or lose it. It's not really like riding a bike, I feel. You know, it's I compose a lot these days. I don't do much session work as I did, so, but the composing keeps me writing. And also I teach a lot of private students and groups and stuff on my website. So now we're actually working in the Improvisers Academy. We work on reading rhythm. So now we're doing lots of 16th note variations, and soon we're going to do triplets. And I think it's like very important for me to, when people join my programs on the Improvisers Academy side, on the live Zoom sessions. So it's very important for me to work with them on rhythm, because rhythm kind of works on everything. Like, it improves everything. It's just like, if you improve your rhythm, your time, it just improves everything. So, yeah. Hope you got anything helpful from what I said. Any other questions? Maybe something about what do you think in general can be interesting to have on this channel or in this niche of guitar. I thought about doing some interviews. I have some friends that I can do some interviews, or maybe go back to certain topics or certain types of content that I used to do. Maybe I forgot about it. So, if you have any ideas about what you like to see next, I love those too. Again, just a reminder, I put a coupon code in the chat. So 20% off just for this live stream. So it should work. Go ahead and check it out. Yeah, any other questions? Christian? No, I'm not. I don't really define myself by anything, but basically I'm Jewish. Any other thing? Yes, by birth. Where did I study music? It's a long story. Well, I studied in music school. I went to Berklee College of Music. Before Berklee College of Music, I went to a school in Israel that teaches a lot of the things that were taught in Berklee. So I saved like 2.5 years out of Berklee. I did it in cheaper way. And I got a scholarship to Berklee from that school also. And I was 16. So that was instead of doing high school. And also at home, I learned a lot because my dad is a musician. He's a composer here in Israel. He writes lots of arrangement and orchestra stuff, and even children's songs that everyone knows here. And even has some pop hits that he wrote, and some cool music. What else? And just like, but the best way to learn music outside of that is just like playing with people who are more advanced than you, and they teach you stuff and you teach them, and also teach. That's also a great way to learn. Carlos, thank you. I appreciate that. What else? Yep. Yeah. More questions. So what have you been working on recently? Maybe some tunes you're learning, or Have you been working on something specific? I was checking out videos on improvisation that advise learning the degrees of scales. Yeah, it's great to think about things in harmonic progressions. It really saves you CPU in your brain later when you want to move it to other keys, or maybe you're learning a specific song and you're like, oh, here's a turn around again, you know? Learning diatonic harmony is really good when doing that. So lots of diatonic harmony, lots of secondary dominant control. Just being able to think about chord progressions like you're thinking about phrases. So having almost like vocabulary of chord progressions. It's good because then you're playing from your ear, you know, because you hear the progression. You talked about context. I find it really hard to click with diminished scales in blues. Yeah, so you know when you have B flat blues, okay? You see that was diminished, and you can actually play that right on the one. So you have then, and also the 6 of 2. And then on the 5. I wrote something that has an etude for that. I don't even remember what it was. But anyway, you know, you're just stretching the sound. Like if you have the arpeggio, and you even have that E diminished there, right? So you can just go. You know, it's just like applying a bunch of diminished scales there whenever I had the dominant transition. But also on the one, just before it goes to the 4th degree, you can go, you're gonna... I go... coming back to the 1 chord, because if you think about the chords, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2... So if you think about that E diminished, you can play a diminished scale or diminished pattern on that, and that's really cool. It really brings you back home. Just start with that, right? Just like the... You know, when you 2/5 to the 4th degree, you can play that too. The thing is also to learn the different patterns. By the way, I have a diminished course on my website as well. You can check it out if you want to dive into diminished. Yeah, it's also on the website. So, and also melodic minor, same thing, you know, same idea. If you can apply melodic minor, you can apply the diminished. It's just cool colors to have. That's exactly why I have entire courses about both diminished and melodic minor, because it's just sounds that you can obsess over. And you know, first of all, you just learn the scale, and then you start just applying different patterns. Like I like this one. Right, and I like moving those in minor thirds. And I like this one. And this is a classic. But I don't really think about that when I try not to think about that when I improvise, you know. That means that sometimes I won't play them because I'm trying not to think, but you're basically expressing the sound of that, and the fun part about it is that you can whatever you're playing, you can on diminished you can play a step and a half above, you know. So if you come up with, it's just moving in minor thirds. But what I see a lot of people do is they can only move across like that because, you know, if they find a pattern. And that's good, but you should also be able to do it in one position, which is what in my diminished course we do a bunch of that. And that's the real challenge in guitar, to see how something that would look, if you stay in a position, it will have a different kind of shape, right? Sometimes you will have to skip strings, but it's just, that's how you test yourself. Right? That's also being able to play it across. So, yeah. So, and that's a little bit about that, about how to apply diminished scales to blues. Any other questions? See that one? Went to the 4th degree. Here's another one on the G7. It's to the C minor. On the F. Analyzing music is the best way to learn harmony and apply scales. Yeah, I think that's also helpful. Like, think about it. It's mostly tension and release, and if you're working with the diatonic environment, so it's different when you do that. Like, you know, if you're very, very diatonic, it's these kind of chords. You know, like, that, what's the name of that tune? By Pat. That's very diatonic. D, G, C. You know, all these diatonic songs, that's a very, very different approach, because you have a lot of chords that work with the scale. Like if you have, that's James, that's called James. You know, if you have D to G, so it's just, you can basically just think about D if you want. But you still need to know that you have that G in the background. So you can think about it as like analyzing like your way into knowing what's a first degree into a fourth degree, right? But then if you if you think about it now, you can just like focus just on 1/4 progressions for a while and just see what you can get at just just by playing the first degree to the fourth degree. So right, first degree, fourth degree, first, F, C. But if you have a tune that has much more changes, right, like I don't know, Moment's Notice or something, or Giant Steps, so all the Coltrane stuff, this is very, very different than just thinking diatonically, because here you have modal stuff. It's just like you have much more chords to think about. So you need to think more about harmonic frameworks, and this is what they call giants, Coltrane changes. And just being able to move without thinking about the changes. Right, you just need to have those, and it's not easy to do it, but if you just play the chords for a very, very long while, and then you can voice lead them, so it's good, and you just take that tune and you play it for a very, very long while, right? So you can just go play the triads. Just try and see that you have the triads. Like I got lost there, but and just by doing that, like the first day it will feel awkward, but after doing that for if you do that for a few years, so it just becomes easier. Right? But it really depends. Like, ask yourself, like, what music do you want to play? I really think that's important too, to kind of, maybe you don't want to play Giant Steps, so maybe you want to play your own music, and but whatever you choose to play, like, know the harmony really well, so you can feel freedom, then express yourself, which is the most important thing. Thank you, Henry. That's very nice of you. By the way, again, you're also supporting the channel, and also just that there's a 20% off when you use Ultimate 20 on the checkout, and it's only available for you know, for this live stream. So when the live stream ends, so the coupon ends too. Yeah, any other questions? And then I'm gonna grab. I need to bring a bottle of water. I keep taking breaks and bringing more water. We've been like live for 2 hours now. Maybe you can help me brainstorm how I can make my live streams more interesting. Like, I know some people do it that they oh, by the way, can everyone hit subscribe and also like, because it's gonna, you know, if you click like, it's gonna send it to more people. And if you're not subscribed, so please subscribe. Ben Unsen type of legato. Yeah. Right, so what else? Yeah, like what you know, what kind of stuff you want to see in the next live? Like, an idea I had is maybe compose something. You know, maybe just I can actually just start composing. And just compose live, and even share stuff that I've from my charts, from my music or stuff like that. Jazz fusion. Oh, that's a good idea. I actually have the Frank Gambale signature, and yeah, some distortion. Why not? That's a good idea. Yeah, I'll do a live jazz fusion stream, and also maybe I can bring some guests sometimes. That can be cool. Cassiopeia. Let me see what's Cassiopeia. What's Cassiopeia? Not sure what that is. Yeah. All right, maybe one last question, and then we'll end this almost 3-hour stream. Here you go, Henry, some Unison stuff. One of their most famous song is Galactic Funk. Galactic Funk. Oh, Japanese band? Okay. I'll check it out. Galactic Funk. Oh, I know. Yeah, I saw them. Yeah, I know those. Oh, those are cool. But if I play that, they would I probably monetize my video or something. I don't know. So I will listen to it later. Thanks. Let me play you a tune I've been playing every day lately, and just trying to get it into my fingers. That's the idea. That's like the base of the song. The basic parts. I like it. I like all these voicings too. And now I'm challenging myself to be able to play it down an octave. So I can't really do it yet, but whatever. Something like that. So, you know, it's actually pretty challenging to play things that you write here and then try to learn them down an octave. That took me a second. But it's pretty fun because I figured out that there's things that are more intuitive for me on higher registers. And then if I want to play those down an octave, like harmonies, right? Not like not like doing the more like harmonies. So it's challenging. So maybe, you know, next time you write something, see if you can play it down an octave. Like that's a really good tip that I keep reminding myself. And I do the same thing if I learn like a melody of a tune. I learn it in 2 octaves at least. And also if it's a very, very wide octave, wide range melody, like some Donnelly stuff. So I'll make sure I can learn it in other areas on the guitar. You know, that kind of stuff. Hey Tiziano. So Tiziano is actually in my Improvisers Academy. And it's super fun. Here's the link if you want to learn about that one. What else? Yeah, guys, we've been like live for almost 3 hours. Maybe another question. Is there any song or record that got you hooked into jazz? Thank you, Tony. That's called Land of the Dreamers. And you can check it out on my album, Dive. Is there any song or record that got you hooked into jazz? Well, I remember being 14, and I was listening a lot to prog music, Dream Theater, and I read somewhere that Petrucci likes Alan Holdsworth, And then I got into some Alan Holdsworth music, but it was too much. So I checked out like musics that resonate with that. I don't remember where, but anyway, basically tribal tech. It's fusion, but tribal tech and also UZUB really got me into jazz. And Dream Theater is obviously not jazz, but since they're prog music, so they're educated musicians, so they have lots of those harmonies in there somehow. So I guess like high information music got me into jazz. And then just like when I went to, instead of high school, I went to a music school. So instead of so everyone was playing saxophone and piano, and they turned me into listening to transcribing Charlie Parker stuff, and we just played tunes, and I liked it kind of like as a social thing. I wasn't like 100% a jazz guy. I'm still not one. I don't consider myself like 100% straight ahead jazz guy. I'm actually, I don't even like thinking about myself as anything more than just like someone who is a fan of music, who's like discovering it every day, and I'm fortunate enough to teach it. But I don't know, like it's hard to say more than that. Like tribal tech, yeah, Scott Henderson and UZUB were I really liked UZUB, and I used to listen also to some band named Charisma. I don't know if you know about them. I think it's Vinny Colaiuta. And then from there, I just tried to check out fusion. There wasn't any place to get it but record stores, And then when Napster came out, so it was kind of very easy to get everything. Someone likes. I like Steve Howe. Yeah. Right. So I used to also really like Steve Howe. And just Yes, and prog music. I used to listen a lot to Yes and King Crimson. And even when Tony Levin was when he came to Israel, I even opened up his show with my progressive rock band Square to Check, and we hanged out and just talked a little bit, and I told him like how much I love his music. He came to Israel with a band named Stickman, and we opened up for them. It was actually an unforgettable night. Really fun to celebrate music. It's the best. Actually, it was that was really cool. What else? What a big hang! I can't believe like I'm almost 3 hours. By the way, everyone watching, can you make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're interested in diving into my courses? So go ahead and grab a course on my website wiseguitar.com, or my music or anything, to both dive into a very step-by-step roadmap to master the fretboard and also support this channel. I think many people get into jazz thanks to Dream Theater. Yep, I think Dream Theater are huge. I have a very cool story with Dream Theater. I gave some lessons to Jordan Rudess, guitar lessons. He's he's diving into guitar, and I gave him some lessons. And then when he came to Israel, like I went to their hotel, and for me Dream Theater was like God when I was a teenager. Like I only wore Dream Theater shirts, and like I was like absolutely into Dream Theater. Anyway, so now I'm 37. That was more than 20 years ago. And just recently, 2 years ago or something, a year ago, Jordan Rudess like hit me on Instagram and hey, you want to do some lessons? I'm in Israel. So I gave him some lessons, and then I actually met Dream Theater in the lobby of the hotel, and we hang. and I was like hanging with John Petrucci, and for me that was pretty huge because you know, I pretty much thought all like for like 5 years of my life, all I thought, all I thought about is John Petrucci and Dream Theater, and that made like that they helped me make the choice that I want to be a musician. And I told that also to John Petrucci, because I couldn't just stand there without like acknowledging that. So he was really nice. I bet he gets that so much. But it's pretty amazing, you know, to think about that. No matter what style, like to become someone who influences a generation. And I think you can't really plan that. You know, it's just like, it's just being super talented at the right time, delivering exactly what's needed at the right time, and yeah, you know, and they released Images and Words, and that's a life-changing record. Like, I know so many people who say that they have albums that change their lives, and I don't think it's just like a statement like that you just, it's like really true. Like, you listen to that album at a certain stage in your life and it changed you forever. Like, you decided this is who you're gonna be now. You want to be into that, and this is the music and the vibe of the band gave you like the resonance of how you want to feel your existence. Like, you know, I felt like as a kid walking with my Discman, whatever they called that, and listening to Images and Words, I felt like, you know, it was the easiest way to surge my brain with dopamine as a teenager, is listening to Pull Me Under or Take the Time. So I'm really happy I got to meet the guys when they're here. And then like they also surprised me, and you know, I had the backstage and like a ticket to the show, and then we did another guitar lesson. So, and then we also did some Zoom lessons, and I wonder if I ask Jordan if he would be willing to hop on sometime to a live stream. Tony, what is the first album I should listen from Dream Theater? Images and Words. And then the second album would be Awake. So start with those, and from there, don't worry. But start with Images and Words, and then listen to Awake. But really listen to it, like take the time. And you know, it's you might be like, you know, maybe it will be hard for you at first with the sound or the 80s influence of the snare drum, but it's just a masterpiece in my opinion. And it's also super inspired by so many bands. Like, you know, they've been really inspired by King Crimson a little bit, but more like Yes, and definitely Rush. But it's just I don't listen to it as much now, but every time I listen to it, it just feels like, oh, you know, I remember my youth. I think it's okay to be authentic with who you were. Like, you don't need to outgrow anything. You just need to embrace that there's no bad or good or better. I don't think that Charlie Parker is better than Dream Theater or vice versa. It's just different stuff, and it's different language. Yeah, different language. Of course, I'm not trying to preach or anything. It's just chatting and sharing. Yeah. Hit subscribe. Press the like button. Check out the courses. Yes. So maybe to end things, everyone can just write what they would like the next videos on my channel to be. Certain topic or something specific that you would be looking forward to. I know I put lots of different things about fretboard knowledge and harmony and that kind of stuff, but maybe some surprise me with some new directions here. And then, yeah. So any requests for specific topics, or maybe even tunes, tunes. Maybe that's the new thing. I should just post myself playing some stuff instead of teaching. Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for tuning in. We've been almost live for like 3 hours now, right? I bet you can get better at this as you do it. Yeah, something I said before is like maybe, I can actually have a program, a very, very specific program instead of just a hang. Right, so if you have any ideas on how I can improve the live streams and make it a little bit more interesting, maybe interviews or new concepts for the channel, I'm looking for that. I feel like I need to kind of refresh something with the channel to move it forward. I feel like there's more things we can do here, so we can leverage this channel together. So yeah, if you have any ideas, you can feel free to email me or anything. Basically, you can feel free to reach out. And also, I said before, if you need help with your progress on guitar, if you want to join a specific someone to mentor you, to keep you accountable, to help you use whatever time you have to get the most out of your practice. So I do offer one-on-one. And if you want to support the channel and also just really dive into my life's work and everything I teach, so you're invited to grab a course over here. I'm fixing to sign up probably today. I don't get a lot of time to practice. If this live stream would be available, you mean after it ends? I'm not really sure. I think I prefer to keep live streams available if they're more structured. We'll see. It might be. I'll see. I'll be spontaneous. Carlos, invite a musician from Israel and do like a podcast. That would be very educative and entertaining. It's funny, most of my Israeli friends and musicians are actually not in Israel. But I have a friend who has also a channel. I think he has almost like 100,000 subscribers. His name is Yogev Gabay. He plays on my albums. He plays drums on my album. And he has a fantastic channel. Let me share it with you. And this is Yogev. So he knows a lot he's an amazing drummer. He knows a lot about conical and about rhythm stuff. And I think it will be really cool to bring other instruments than guitar, like saxophone can teach us a lot about flow for sure as guitar players and articulation, and drummers is just like working on our time a lot. That can be really cool. So, and we can also try and reach out to someone more famous. I had Oznoy here before, and I'll try to talk to Jordan Rudess and see if he wants to come and hang out. I would like to see more of modern guitar stuff, opening, sounding, fifth, suspending, dark sounds. For sure, there's actually a lot of that here on the channel, honestly. Like, check out the channel, there's a lot of stuff about melodic minor. And if you want to have the tabs and notation and a very step-by-step course, extremely step-by-step, so you're invited to check out my courses on my website. There's the melodic minor and the 51 galactic jazz licks one. If you're into the more darker sound, there's also the diminished. So basically, you can get the modern jazz, the modern guitar bundle, The modern guitar bundle has all these sounds. It has the 51 galactic jazz licks. It has the diminished and the melodic minor. Those are all available in the courses. So you can grab that, and I will if you email me after grabbing that, I'll even send you my album as a gift with a PDF of every note I played on a tune called K4Y, which has a bunch of other stuff. Actually, you know, anyone that joins any of my courses today and sends me an email, I will send him my album plus tabs and notation for my song K4Y, which it's a hectic modern jazz song with lots of cool stuff. Yeah, so these live streams, like, you know, this is something I want to explore more. I really appreciate everyone here right now. Thanks so much for tuning in, and thank you everyone who joined. I see some people joined to the courses right now, so that's fantastic. Hope you got to use the coupon code that I shared for the live stream. Thank you so much for joining. It really supports the channel, and also I know you're gonna really enjoy the courses. Very cool. If you're looking for more of a Patreonic kind of thing, I don't have a Patreon, but I have Improvisers Academy, where I teach jazz standards, transcriptions, and we go live every month. So this is my Patreon style thing. And I don't know if I'm gonna open a Patreon, but maybe I'll at some point open something that is you know, or some kind of membership other than the Improvisers Academy. I'll open something sometime. Yeah. Yeah, Carlos, thanks. You've been here you've been spending 2 hours with me. I'm really happy. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you, everyone. Hit that subscribe button. Stay in touch. Reach out. Offer ideas how to leverage this channel, how to use the live streams, and I'll brainstorm, and I'll see you in the next live. For now, I'm just gonna work on playing my tunes live. So I have a bunch of tunes, so just playing them solo guitar. We can also do some standards, answering your questions, and as you know, bringing guests. We can bring guests. There's a bunch of stuff we can do here, but I would appreciate your ideas so I can improve in this live thingy. Alright guys, I'm gonna grab a bite. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope to see you inside the courses. Thanks for everyone who joined the courses during the live stream. The coupon code is Ultimate20. I'll leave it for another hour or two. For those of you who still want to use it, it's Ultimate20. You can use that, enter that at the checkout, and you'll get an extra discount. So be blessed. Thank you very much for joining in, and I'll see you on the next live stream. Stay inspired, and yeah, enjoy the journey. Thank you. Bye bye.